Good morning, guys. I am sitting outside on this Monday. I believe it's President's Day or some kind of holiday that's going on today. So the schools are closed, and I think some banks and whatever federal buildings are closed today, but I think a lot of businesses are still open. Um, But it was such a beautiful morning out here, I decided to just come and sit in my backyard and make this quick video. I wanted to update you on some things that are happening. Um, yeah, I'm still in school. Well, technically, I'm not. My classes technically ended on the 9th, but as I told you guys, they've given us a revised schedule for those of us who didn't pass the CDL test. So now we're coming in on whatever days that they have available for us to come in to practice our driving, which has been great. Not having the other classmates there and just having that one-on-one time with the instructor is exactly what I wanted, and I think exactly what I needed. Since we've been doing this, I think this is our second week. My instructor on at least 3 different occasions said to us that if we were to take the test now, or the times that we've driven, the last 3 times that we've driven, we would have passed the test. And he said to me specifically, he was like, every time you get behind the wheel, you're getting better and better. He was like, your skills have improved greatly. And so for me, I just think it was the time that I needed. Like I said in the very beginning, 15, 20 minutes just wasn't enough for me every day. I mean, I needed more time behind the wheel to kind of correct the things that I was messing up on, and I couldn't do that in, like I said, 15 or 20 minutes. I needed more consistent driving in order to recognize what I was doing wrong and then being able to focus on how to correct it and then making those corrections. So this additional time with just one-on-one with the instructor has made such a difference. And so in the course of this, I've been preparing for the next phase or the next steps, which is once we get our CDL, we're due to test on March 4th. Technically today would have been our test date, but because it's a holiday, like I said, none of the schools are open. There's no testing going on, so we have to wait for the following 2 weeks, which again is great because it gives us a whole month of training and preparation before we take this test. And so by the time we take that test on the 4th, I know I'm definitely going to pass it. But in the meantime, I've been preparing for the next part or next phase of this whole operation, which is getting my hazmat endorsement and my tanker truck endorsement. And I'm probably going to do the doubles and triples endorsement also. I've already gone and gotten my fingerprints done for the hazmat. And I also got the fingerprints done for the TWIC card. And what that basically is, it allows you access to different areas like ports, shipping docks and things like that to pick up cargo or containers or whatever. You have to have clearance in order to be there, even as a driver. So that's what the TWIC card is for. So I already have my TWIC card. My hazmat, like I said, the prints have already been done, and I should be receiving either a card or some kind of certification through mail or email pertaining to that. So that's already in the works, but I've already begun kind of studying for the hazmat and the tanker. They said once we get our CDL, the day that we pass, if we go to the DMV or Secretary of State the following day, it'll be free for us to take those tests. But if we wait longer, it's going to be more. So my plan is to take the test the very next day and get those out the way. And also in the meantime, I don't know if I shared this with you guys or not. Okay, just making sure the camera was still rolling. I couldn't see it. I don't know if I shared this with you guys or not, but I had been, even before I started classes, I had been researching trucking companies, because there's so many out here. I mean, there's more trucking companies than there are trucking schools. And I think I, told you guys that there were quite a few here in my state that I went through. It was at least 25 that I looked at, maybe more. But there's even more trucking companies, not just in my state, but across the country. And so I started looking at quite a few of them. There's a number that I still have not looked at because, again, it's so many. I can't look at them all. But I had narrowed down my search to a top 5 companies that I was interested in possibly driving for. And one of those top 5 companies was not one of the companies that had a partnership with the school that I attended. Remember I said our school has regular recruiters coming out to talk to the classes, and our school has a partnership with quite a few of these trucking companies that are out here, and that they will only take students. Being a new driver, they will only take students from our school opposed to any other school that's out here. Well, one of the companies that I was looking at was not amongst that partnership. So I approached the administrator and I asked him if he had any kind of information on this company. And he had heard of it, but like I said, they didn't have a partnership with them. They didn't have a recruiter coming out to talk to the students. So he said he was going to look into it and he would get back to me. So when he did, he gave me like a little, not booklet, but it was like some papers that he had printed off from his computer, of some information that one of the recruiters, I guess he got in touch with the company, talked with one of the recruiters, and the recruiter sent him like a packet or whatever of information. And so he printed it all out and he gave it to me, and he had a little post-it attached to it with the company's phone number, with the recruiter's name that he spoke to, and it was something else on there. And so when he gave me that information, of course I thanked him for it, because he didn't have to do that. But I held on to that information for about maybe a week and a half, and I didn't do anything with it because I was just too busy, too focused on school, too focused on other things in my life that need my attention. So I kind of put that paperwork to the side. And it was just recently that I picked that paperwork up and I was like, okay, let me look over this. So as I was going over the information, at the very end, I went ahead and I called that number. Now, like I said, he had a recruiter's name on there. I didn't ask for that recruiter. I don't know why, but I just asked to speak to a recruiter. So they connected me with this very nice young lady, and we just kind of hit it off from the very beginning. The conversation was so smooth and so easy, so relaxed, so comfortable. We talked for quite a bit and we had a really good conversation. And so she called me again the next day and we talked for about an hour. And I guess I didn't realize that she was actually interviewing me over the phone. So she asked me a series of questions and we talked about the company. We talked about the positions available. Of course, I'm looking for something over the road. And I expressed that to her in the first conversation. So in alignment with what I'm looking for, they have a position called a road warrior. And a road warrior, unlike regular or normal OTR, over the road drivers, the road warriors stay out longer on the road. So they might be out 2 or 3 months at a time. before they come back home. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted to be on the road for as long as possible each stint. So she talked to me about the position. She talked to me about the company. I mean, we talked about personal things even outside of the company and the position and everything. Like I said, she and I just we clicked right away. And so she said to me, okay, I guess she had some other things she needed to do in the office. Her job is not just a recruiter. She's over the orientation and all of that. So she had some other things she needed to do. So she said she was going to call me the next day. Now, this is 3 days in a row that we've spoken. She said she was going to call me the next day at 3 p.m. So at 3 p.m. she called me and we had another long conversation. And oh my goodness, yes. So at the end of that last conversation that we had, she actually officially offered me the job as a road warrior for this company. Now, this company, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It's a family-owned company. It's a Christian company, just like the company that I just left. Big difference, though, in how they operate their business. Not saying that the other family wasn't Christian. I think that as time has gone on, I don't know how long that previous company has been in business, but the founders of the company, the grandfather, the father, the mother, a lot of those people have passed. And so now the next generation has taken over the company and a lot of things have changed. So it's not quite the company it used to be. This company has been around, the one that I'm going into, has been around for 77 years. It started out as a trucking company of one man and one truck. Their grandfather started the company years ago, and it's just grown from there. But they've always been a faith-based, Christian-based family. And so taking that into their business was not a large stretch. And so one of the things that I appreciate and really like about this company, and I think it's the thing that drew me the most, was that it is based on faith. And because of their faith, because of their believers in God, they're followers of Christ, their work ethic, their workplace environment is completely different from a lot of companies that are out here. I searched and searched and searched online through YouTube videos, through testimonials, through whatever information I could find about this company. And I could not find one negative thing said about them. And mind you, they've been around for 77 years. This isn't a new company. But I have, in all of that research, I couldn't find anything negative to say about them, or that had been said about them, or had been, put in an article, or, disgruntled former workers, or what. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everything that I found was all positive. People have nothing but good things to say about this company. I like that. I like that a lot. It is a smaller company compared to some of the well-known companies that are out here. I think they have about 500 drivers total, where other companies may have thousands of drivers. But for me, the difference is in how they treat their employees, how they treat their drivers. It's in the environment, the atmosphere that's being created throughout the company. I mean, their customers say great things about them. Their employees say great things about them, both in the office and on the road. Like I said, I haven't found anybody that's had one negative word to say about this company. Now, if you want to consider this a negative, which I don't, because again, it is a smaller company, when it comes to pay, they don't pay as much as some larger companies. And that's basically pertaining to mileage, I believe. Where you have some companies that might be paying like 60 cents a mile, or others that are paying like 70 cents a mile. This company, I think at the peak, is paying like 60 cents a mile. But just like this previous company that I was working for, where they don't, where the pay may not be considered so great in the mileage, they make up for in the bonuses and the incentives and other reward programs that they have. This and don't get it wrong, in the position that I'll be in as a road warrior, I'll be making really good money. But compared to some other companies, it may not be as much, again, in the mileage. But like I say, with the bonuses, the incentives, and the extras that the company includes, they actually have a stock program where they say that the employees own the company, basically. Because when you start with them, they automatically give you stock in the company. And this is something that you don't have to pay for. You don't have to pay into, like it's, a little portion of your income is going into that. They give it to you free. I was looking at a video of one of their employees who has been with the company for 10 years now. And he said that if he were to retire today, if he was to retire today with the investment that he has with his stock in the company, going at the rate that it's going at in today's economy, he could retire, still have his 401k, but his stock option would total to $1.2 million. And this is all free money to him. When you leave the company for whatever reason, whether you retire, whether you quit, whether you get fired or whatever, they will buy back your stock at the price that it's valued at. I don't know why they don't allow you to keep it, but this is one of the things that the company does for you. I guess because you didn't pay for it in the beginning, you didn't buy into it to begin with. This is something that they have chosen to do for their employees. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited, guys. I haven't even passed my CDL yet, and they're well aware of that. But because of the type of job that I'm looking to do, lots of companies would love to have me, would probably fight over me. And because this type of position, when it comes up, they get filled very quickly. The recruiter said that there were only a few openings left right now. And she's not the only recruiter. They have other recruiters who are talking to people every day. And so because she knew there were limited openings on this position, she wanted to get me in as soon as possible. So she kind of expedited the process to get me hired on and to get me in before all of those spots were taken. And so I tell you, I'm grateful to God, because that doesn't happen. That does not happen under normal circumstances. Companies do not do that. But I trust and believe that God has led me to this company. I tell you, out of all the companies that I researched, even out of the other 4 in that top 5 list, for some reason and some of them were paying a little bit more, but for me, it's not about the money. It's about being at a place that feels like home. It's about working with people that I get along with, that we have not just common interests, but they're like that connection that she and I had from the very start of the conversation. And I could tell that there's many more people at this company that are very much like her. So I just imagine the new friendships, the new bonds, the new connections that I'm going to make with a lot of people throughout this company, customers as well as people who work for the company. So yeah, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. Good things are happening. This just gives me even more incentive to pass that test on the 4th. And so, yeah, I've already got a job lined up. The day I graduate, I've already got a job lined up. I'm due to be in orientation on the 1st of April. And no, it's not an April Fool's joke. I'm due to be in orientation on the 1st, and they've already paid for my rental car and my hotel. The orientation is 5 days at their headquarters. And so they've already reserved me a rental car, and they've already paid for my hotel room for that stay. The training itself is going to be 6 months. 6 months, and I'm assuming that it's going to be at their headquarters. I'm going to start out with a trainer, and then at some period of time, they're going to let me be solo on my own. And then after another period of time, they're going to bring me back, and I'm going to work with another trainer. So I don't know what the training involves, but they take their time with each employee because they want them to succeed, and they want them to know everything that they need to know and be well equipped when they hit the road. So most companies are their training programs depending on your experience. If you go in as an experienced driver, it might be 3 to 5 days. For an inexperienced driver, it might be a maximum of 2 months. When I saw 6 months, I'm like, really? Wow. They take the extra time and put in the extra work to make sure that their new employees are well equipped once they get out on the road. So I appreciate that also about this company. Yeah, guys, so I just wanted to come on and share this good news with you guys and let you know where I'm at. We got 2 more weeks before we take this test, and of course I'll give you guys an update on that. But I'm pretty sure it's a done deal. It's a done deal. I'm gonna keep working on my skills, but yeah, we'll get it. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Stay warm. Be blessed. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.